My name is Rory Gillen. I'm an artist and maker based in Canberra, and I've been creating a whole lot of work for a new exhibition at the Tuggeranong Arts Centre through the Maker in Residence program. It's called Uncalibrated Space. It's dealing with the technology of artificial intelligence when it comes to image upscaling technology. And essentially the commonality between those two things is that it's a way to create an incredibly lifelike photograph that is, by far and large completely artificially generated. It's a really interesting technology because it uses a database to inform the creation of completely new imagery. That the direction in which the algorithm heads is always going to be informed by the content of the imagery which it digests. So my practice concerns a lot the role that the image plays in the context of the internet and the way that we now see it evolving and being informed by larger swathes of information and large data sets of imagery. So really rethinking what the traditional image means, whether that's on a screen or on a print, and I like to work through those sort of thought processes by creating three-dimensional works that are sort of sculptural, as well as sort of more traditional two-dimensional prints. I've also made machines and things like that which will sort of call into question motivations behind certain algorithmic processes. The MakerSpace really allowed me to be able to explore a lot of potential paths for how the work could evolve and sort of manifest itself in the most sort of clear and concise manner. The thing that I've made that I'm most proud of during the residency is this big LED billboard screen type thing, which definitely needed several different tools from the space to be able to construct, and I wouldn't have been able to do it if it weren't for that. So I think that, yeah, building that screen really used a lot of my utilized and improved my knowledge of software and electronics and metal fabrication, all of that sort of stuff rolled into one. Also being able to have a bit of troubleshooting talk with people in the space really helped me conceptualize what I needed to be able to actually pull off the work. When you're practicing by yourself, unless you're an incredibly good Googler, often you just end up having to Google for 30 minutes to figure out what you need to Google, and then you can go from there. And that's just a really stop-starty way of creation, whereas in a community environment, it's a lot quicker to actually go to a person. And having this located within the university obviously aids that incredibly. So it's been great that on a couple of occasions that I've been sort of really out of my depth with certain things here, you've been able to put me in touch with either professors or lecturers who are really engaged with the topic. That meant from sort of day one I was able to actually ask questions that are able to narrow the focus and expand my knowledge in this specific area if I didn't know something. Yeah, no, I think it definitely sort of drove me to work a little bit more and a little bit harder. So that would be the most sort of unexpected element for it, because it definitely did sort of going in feel like it was going to be a residency provided predominantly surrounding tools and access to space, but access to people and information is honestly just as important because it saves so much time and honestly a lot of cost too. Yeah, being a maker is all about the sharing of skills, expertise and knowledge, and being able to increase your self-sufficiency in a time where it's increasingly hard to repair and construct new things completely from scratch. So increasing your agency as an individual and your capabilities is really key, and I think that's the most important thing that I think you can take away from an attitude where it's your first response is always if something breaks, how can I fix it, not where do I buy another one. Within that, of course, being a maker is not solitary, it's a network, it's an environment, and it's sort of a group of people that you can always talk to and call on. And having a community to do that with that encourages that and is able to facilitate that in a myriad of different ways depending on the way you best find you learn is completely invaluable in my opinion.